thunder cracking open their shields. Actions louder than the poison you spill. From bitter hatred to standing with me still, you built the flames, hoping I'd fall and burn. But every attack just makes this fire return. No crown, no mercy, just truth in the fight. I gather the real ones under these battle lights. Mirror you shatter, but can't look away. I own my darkness, this is my domain. Keep hating me, for the truth I scream, for the truth I scream. Through infinite realms I burn, tearing through your dream. I bear my soul, no mask, no lies. I walk through the fire and claim the skies. Keep hating, no mask, no lies. I rise. Keep hating me for the truth I spit in your face. Spotlight on the fools who deny this broken place. Politics, faith, anime, flames, games in the night. I tear the screen wide, show my real soul in the light. Call me degenerate, call me lost, call me wrong. At least I stand raw, you hide behind your perfect song. Keep hating me, for the truth I scream. Through infinite realms I burn, tearing through your dream. I bear my soul, no mask, no lies. You choke on envy, drowning in your own disguise. True to the chaos, true to the pain. I walk through the fire and rise again. You virtue signaling cowards, throwing stones from the dark. I bleed in the open, every scar and every mark. Honesty cuts deep, it makes the fragile break. While your painted smiles cracking your foundation shake. Keep hating me, for the truth I scream. Through infinite realms I burn, tearing through your dream. I bear my soul, no mask, no lies. You choke on envy, drowning in your own disguise. True to the chaos, true to the pain. I walk through the fire and rise again. I turn enemies to allies with the words that I wield. Debates like thunder cracking open their shields. Actions louder than the poison you spill. From bitter hatred to standing with me still, you built the flames, hoping I'd fall and burn. But every attack just makes this fire return.
Hello and welcome. How is everybody doing? It is your boy Boondocks Twisted 87 coming at you. Yeah, as you can see, I'm no longer in my shark onesie. If you guys want to see that, you can make your way over to kick.com/Boondocks Twisted 87. Huh? Yeah. Want to go to Kick? Yeah. Kick. Kick is awesome. Better than Twitch. Um, but anyways, guys, we have a little bit to get into. Not too much. Couple short clips by Fox, of course. Um, but nonetheless, it's getting kind of diabolical, guys. You know, what am I to say? It's getting a little diabolical. Apparently China's been funding Iran. That's what today's subject is just the war in Iran, guys. Yeah. So with all that being said, let's get into it.
This is a Fox News Alert. I'm Kevin Cork in Washington. Iran launching what the U.S. military describes as a new surprise attack on U.S. forces in the Middle East. Officials say several ballistic missiles were intercepted. U.S. and Saudi Arabian forces responding with.
So Iran is doing what Iran does best. It's attacking its neighbors. That's nothing new. This has been going on for a while now. Every time they say no, we trade you camel, we no attack you. Then they go back to the table and they attack their neighbors. Again, this is nothing new. They've been attacking Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, the UAE, whoever their little hearts desires, who they decide to attack. You know, whether if it's us, Israel, Saudi Arabia, you know, whoever, they just go ahead and attack them. Yep, because that's what terrorists do.
Precision strikes on Iran-backed groups in Iraq accused of targeting U.S. troops and Saudi energy sites. Now, this all comes just hours after the president met with the leaders of Ukraine and Israel at the White House.
Yeah, another interesting fact. President Zelensky apparently said he has targeted Iranian trucks in going back and forth to Russia with ammunitions. So apparently Russia's been supplying Iran as well.
The attacks shattering a brief pause in the fighting as mediators try to get both sides back to the negotiation table after weeks of escalation. Meantime, the president.
Again, talks with Iran are pointless at this point, right? All right, guys, I'm going to give it to you straight. All right? It's absolutely pointless. This is a death cult. They are absolutely hell-bent on destroying Western civilization and themselves if it comes down to it. Again, they've killed over 50,000 of their own people. Why do you think they care about you?
Pick to lead the U.S. intel community is now confirmed. The Senate voting 51-47 to make Jay Clayton the permanent Director of National Intelligence, replacing Tulsi Gabbard. He is a U.S. attorney in New York and a former SEC chairman. I'm Kevin Cork. Now back to Hannity.
Be sure to.
Again, guys, not surprising Iran is launching surprise attack on its neighbors. Anybody could have guessed that they would have done that, right? At this point, they are whole legit not. The United States needs to go back to the stance it used to have. We do not negotiate with terrorists. I think we should keep the blockade going, keep our aircraft carriers in operation, sending planes back and forth to bomb Iran. Then, you know, just for fun, take Karg Island, because that's where Iran holds 90% of its oil. Do you know the amount of damage economically we could do to Iran then? We would literally have them between a rock and a hard place.
Like and subscribe for all the Fox News latest on YouTube, and catch full shows streaming now on Fox One.
Now listen to what General Jack Keane had to say earlier on this program about taking out the Revolutionary Guards in Iran.
All right, guys. Now, I want to know what he means by taking out, because as some of you may know, I don't want boots on the ground. I don't think there's a need for it. And blow anything up entering or leaving Iran. Yes. Yes, or blow anything up entering and leaving Iran. The moderation got you, Uncle. I tried, but it says this message is being held for review. And I press show and it said another moderator handled this. I gotta figure out how to do mods on YouTube. That way I can make you one, get you a YouTube mod again, get you to be one of my YouTube mods, because you're already my Kick and Discord mod, so, makes sense. Let alone you're like my partner for everything. So, yes, guys, everything you have seen from my opening to the model you're seeing to the screensavers to my emotes we use on Kick, Uncle has made it all, guys. He is my partner in crime, alright? He is just as much as a menace to society as I am.
We have got to conduct.
Ah, yes, that's what we were talking about. I am not in favor of troops, boots on the ground. I'm not, alright? But also at this point, there really wouldn't be a fight. But again, still, I just don't want boots on the ground. I'm totally against it. I'm totally against it. I've had enough of our troops in, actually, the country. Flying over the country and bombing it, that's whatever to me. Our Navy is stationed in its oceans, you know what I'm saying? That's not boots on the ground. That's taking our two most powerful assets as military assets, as that, and just letting them do their thing, which is what I think we need to continue to do. I really don't want boots on the ground.
All-out attacks on the IRGC, their leadership. We have to massive attacks.
Now, if you mean all-out attack, like as in a carpet bombing campaign, yeah, of course, let's go. Let's roll.
On ballistic missiles and drones. Everything that's driving this country to retaliate against us needs to be attacked from an organizational perspective and also.
And don't get me wrong, guys, I agree with the general here. I 100% agree, just I don't think we need troops on the ground to do that.
Obviously, from weapons itself.
Senator Pete Ricketts, Republican from the state of Nebraska, joins me now. Mr. Senator, do you agree that we should now go after the IRGC and take them out?
A country that chants death to America cannot be allowed to have a nuclear weapon. And so we...
And again, totally agree with that. A regime that screams death to America cannot have a nuclear weapon. In fact, I'll do you one better. They shouldn't exist.
We need to step up the pressure on Iran, and I would leave it to the discretion of the administration.
Any country's regime that screams death to America is an enemy to America. And sounds like to me that is a declaration to war, if you ask me. Death to America means they want to attack you. Why wait around and wait for them to do it? No, I'm alright with that. I'm in favor of let's kill our enemies first.
With regard to if that's going to be attacking the IRGC leadership directly, how we do that, the sanctions, blockades, we need to step up the pressure and increase it on Iran so that they actually come to the table and negotiate in good faith.
You would have no problem with taking out IRGC CG leadership as the Israelis took out top Iranian leadership at the start of the war? You have no problem with taking out the Revolutionary Guards?
Well, let's remember the IRGC has been killing Americans for years. So
the IRGC has been killing Americans for 47 years. As I've stated, guys, and for those of you that don't know, well, this is one of my stances, alright? Iran has been a problem for America for 47 years, and it's 47 years past due that we deal with them.
So, absolutely. Like, if we think that's going to help put more pressure on Iran, taking out their leadership is directing terrorist attacks against us and our allies, absolutely. That's part of how we keep pressure on them.
Well, the Revolutionary Guards attacked an American air base in Jordan again last night.
Now, guys, this is like a day old or so, alright? This isn't very old, so this is very recent news. And apparently they attacked another air base, or another American air base in Jordan. Not surprising, as I have just said, they've been a problem for America for 47 years because they've been killing us for 47 years. And it's 47 years past due that we deal with them.
They were trying to kill American soldiers. President
I like what President Trump is on, alright? Iran is eye for an eye, equal, right? Well, no. President Trump is a head for an eye. For every American they kill, we will absolutely bring the rain. They are going to know what America is capable of, and that's just her Navy and Air Force.
Trump's not having any of that. He's taken the gloves off. Do you expect action?
Yes, for those of you that do not know, we pretty much hit every objective to where we whole legit are flying into the country now and attacking other targets. We have whole legit ran out of targets. Tell me, if this was a war and Iran was winning, as the leftards would say, how come we're able to get them pinned down into such a position that we've ran out of targets to hit and are flying inward and hitting bombs and power plants? Where's their Navy? Oh, wait, I know where their Navy is. They suddenly identified as submarines.
Real action is imminent?
I do expect that we're going to continue to see kinetic strikes against Iran after what the president said. I believe he was trying to give some room for some talks, but it's clear. I mean, look, they couldn't even go 60 days without shooting at commercial tankers. And then supposedly when we're having these talks with them, they launched this surprise attack on our facility in Jordan. You know, you've got people that...
Like, whole legit, guys, I know the left has been going around saying, Iran's winning, right? Guys, that's not happening, alright? Let me put it straight up to you like this. Their Navy is at the bottom of the ocean, alright? They suddenly identified as submarines. The entire surface fleet just felt like chilling at the bottom of the ocean like a submarine. So, you know, they identified as submarines. Their Air Force, well, apparently they don't like to fly anymore because, well, there isn't one. We decimated that too. We've taken out all of their high command, including their supreme leader, to where his son's now in charge, and, well, don't know whether if he's dead or in a coma or what's going on with him, since we haven't seen him yet. We've gotten written statements, but written statements can be by anybody, guys, just to straight up tell you that. Doesn't mean it's by him. So we don't know if he's in a coma, disfigured, or dead, so there's that. And they practically have no military, alright? Let alone people to tell them what to do. Their drones and ballistic missiles and bombs cashews are running out. They will run out eventually, especially if we just decide to up the ante and go, well, screw your weapon caches. We're just bombing them now, too.
Just are bent on destroying the United States, killing Americans, killing all of us. We should be very clear-eyed about who we're dealing with this Islamic Republican Guard Corps. And the only thing they understand is force. So I believe the president needs to demonstrate that force back and step up the pressure on him.
Got it. Senate Democrats have refused to pass the Stop Insider Trading Act. Your bill would ban lawmakers and their immediate families from buying stocks. Why wouldn't Senate Democrats want this passed?
Because Senate Democrats are corrupt. That's why they wouldn't want it passed. It's getting rid of their way to commit fraud.
Well, the objection that was voiced on the floor is that it would have been paired with the voter ID, which, again, it's just common sense. I mean, in Nebraska, we passed voter ID on the ballot 65-35. 36 states have voter ID, including Democrat states. So, you know.
Yeah, guys, just to let you know, the DSA, the Democratic Socialists of America, which I'm going to give it to you straight, it's the Communist Party of America is what it is, right? It's whole legit a communist party in America. How this happened? Well, because Biden Biden played a very, very slick card, alright? Legit, that's all it took. And I'll be honest with you guys, they are the ones that want to get rid of voter ID, alright? Legit, they want to wipe out everything, that way the illegals can come in, take over, and kill you.
To me, it just seems that we need to increase.
When they chant death to America, they literally mean just that, death to America.
The credibility of Congress, and my Stop Insider Trading Act would help do that. And frankly, voter ID would help increase the integrity, the belief that people have in the integrity of our elections.
So what I'm seeing here, what I'm reading between the lines, is that Senate Democrats will move heaven and earth not to pass the Save America Act, not to get voter ID.
They have blocked, the Senate Democrats have blocked the Save America Act every time it's been on the floor. They've opposed voter ID when we said, and here's the kicker. They've said that they're all for it. And as I mentioned, there's a lot of states, 36 states that
What's up, Josh?
have it already. But every time it comes to actually voting, they are so beholden to their far left wing, these Democrat socialists, they're so beholden to them that they actually can't vote for common sense measures.
Again, guys, they say Democrat socialists, alright? That's not what that is. They are a communist. They are the commie party of America. They ain't socialists. They're not America. They're not even Democrats. Right now we're going over what's happening in Iran. But that was just a quick little bit on how the Democrats want to get rid of voter ID.
Like voter ID.
Even though voter ID, I think, is an 80-20 measure. All right.
Yeah, even a majority of Democrats believe we should have voter ID.
Senator Pete Ricketts, thanks very much for joining us this morning. All good stuff. Appreciate it,
Great,
sir.
thank you.
Yes, sir.
We need members of Congress who understand that
Welcome back. A live look at the Strait of Hormuz, courtesy of Marine Traffic. We have a question here.
Alright, guys. Apparently, China's been funding Iran. Which is interesting. Middle East latest. China reportedly sending 400 rocket launchers to Iran. Let's find out what's going on. Obviously, this is a look at the Strait of Hormuz. The red arrows are oil tankers, and the green arrows are just normal cargo goods.
What's the likelihood we'll see even further expansion of the war in Iran? That's the question on our mind after the Iranians restarted the fighting this week with a surprise attack on U.S. forces in Jordan. And then Saudi forces, for the first time, joining U.S. strikes in Iraq afterward.
In Iraq? You mean Iran? Or are we at war now with Iraq too? Because again, that wouldn't surprise me. But I think he meant Iran. I think it was just a mispronunciation. He's probably thinking 2001 there, guys. No, I haven't got anything. I got an OG Xbox right now that I've been playing, and I've been playing Need for Speed Underground 2. So I took it old school. I haven't gotten anything new yet. Again, guys, we shouldn't be surprised that terrorists are doing exactly what terrorists are doing and striking us in Jordan. And good job to the Saudis for joining in on the excitement. Screw Iran. Pretty much everybody in the Middle East is done with this regime, guys. It's crazy. They are all accepting Israel.
So, this depiction of the Strait of Hormuz, and since we're talking about...
Yes, guys, yes, my Jewish overlords are getting stronger. Yes!
The Saudis, we've been talking about the Saudis and the Houthis quite a bit lately. This is the Bab el-Mandeb Strait. This is another critical waterway that we may be discussing quite a bit moving forward here. Meanwhile, President Trump today telling Fox News that we're, quote, going to beat the effing S out of them. We'll be hitting them hard, he said. They're going to get a beating. Let's check in with Professor Alon Burstein. He's here with me. He's the host of the Israel-Palestine Report. And Alon, as always, there is a lot going on tonight. Let's start with this latest post from U.S. Central Command. They just put this out saying forces began launching strikes against Iran at 8 p.m.
Yes, that is my president. Let's not let up. Let's not let up. Let's keep bombing them. Let's keep bombing them. I'm being nice, guys. If this was Kick, I would have said the R word so many times. So many times. Nuclear harder.
Eastern Time. The strikes are a powerful response to yesterday's attempted Iranian attacks on U.S. forces based in the Middle East. So Alon, I guess...
Telling you guys, sign up for Kick.com. It's absolutely free. And then look me up at Kick.com/BoondocksTwisted87.
My big question here tonight, and for anybody that's watching this on YouTube a little bit later tonight, we're having this conversation just past 9:30 Eastern Time, so it's been about 90 minutes since this operation began. I know you're clued in and you're wired into what's happening on the ground through leaks and what we're hearing from sources that are closer to the action. Are we seeing that these strikes are still being carried out? What level of clarity do we...
They should be still being carried out. They better be still being carried out. I need to bomb. I'm gonna be nice here. I'm going to need to bomb the stupid people. We have goats to save, guys.
we have on that?
Thank you for having me, Austin. From what we've seen, at least in the last, I'd say, an hour, so like you said, it's right around 9:35 p.m. Eastern time now. In the last hour, there have not been any more reports of air defense systems being activated. Where the attacks took place tonight is significant because it clues us into how the United States, at least as far as it's concerned, how it's viewing the current return to fighting. You know, maybe we'll talk in a moment about what happened in the last several days. But if we just go back to tonight, what we...
Oh, Josh, buddy, if you thought that was funny, dude, I'm holding back. You can ask Uncle. I'm holding back because I'm on YouTube. Sign up for Kick. Sign up for Kick. KICK.com. And then /BoondocksTwisted87.
had after this pause is the United States carrying out attacks, and despite all the rhetoric, despite the increasing threats, despite Trump talking about...
Uncle, Josh is a old high school friend. He actually knows me and Sinful in real life. Dude, I'm telling you, Kick.com. You'd be surprised on who made mod. I think I told you.
Obliterating and a return in bridges and power plants. The actual attacks that took place tonight, according to reports on the ground, are pretty much mirroring the same levels of attacks that we've seen over the last 2 weeks. If you exhibit...
But if you really want entertainment, sign up and then save the follow for next time I'm live. Then join in the middle of stream. You'll like what you see.
Back to me in the big screen, I'll try to zoom in here, and where most of the attacks have...
Cat. Mow! Right, mow!
...happened over the last, again, 2 hours, have been in and around the Strait of Hormuz again. We've had attacks at Sirik over here, Jasik, Bandar Abbas, Keshem Island, these other smaller islands over here, and then we had another attack that was reported in the areas of Ahfaz, this area up here, but all of those are connected to the waterway. All of those are connected to the Persian Gulf.
Yeah, like I said, let's just take Karg Island. There wouldn't be a problem. There wouldn't be a problem, because then we'd be in charge of Iran's oil. We could hold legit. Send the oil out, right? Redirect the oil, right? And then put away the money. Set it to the side, right, guys? We don't have to give the money to Iran. Meet our demands or suffer the consequences.
and to the Strait of Hormuz. We have not seen attacks escalating to what at least Trump was implying might happen, which includes power plants, which includes Pickaxe Out Mountain, which includes all kinds of other targets, either north of Iran or in the northeastern, northwestern parts of Iran. We haven't seen any of that, at least yet. I will say there's all kinds of sporadic reports that come out now and then from basically activists on the ground that are saying that air defense systems have been operated here and there. So we've had a report in the last 24 hours of air defense systems that were operated in Tehran, in the capital. We had another report of air defense systems being operated somewhere near Iraq over here. But in all of those cases, no one took responsibility for any attack, and there's no reports of attacks on the ground. That doesn't mean there was an attempted attack. Air defense systems could be operated against a drone. It could be an Israeli drone, could be an American drone, could be spy drones, could be a lot of things. It doesn't mean necessarily an immediate escalation, but it's an indication of the tensions. It's an indication of the tensions.
Well, of course, it's an indication if you're spotting something like that, even if it's a spy drone. Obviously, they're not spying because, you know, they don't plan on attacking. No. So obviously, it's a sign of intentions and everything like that. So far, this is not surprising me.
How high tensions are running right now, but somewhat surprisingly, despite all the rhetoric leading up to the weekend when Trump and Israel were already talking about a full-on return to fighting, and now with the bombastic they're going to be hit hard, so far the targets are pretty much a repeat of the same types of targets that we've seen every night over the last 2 weeks.
So all of this, we're talking about this because the new round of fighting has begun. Iran began that new round of fighting.
Iran has begun every fight that they've been in. It's never been the other country starting the fight. In every round that they've participated in, it's always Iran starting it. It's never the other country. So again, not surprising that, well, guess what, guys? Again, it's Iran who started it.
What's the train of thought as to why they might have started this
Because they are a death cult that want the death of Western civilization and America and will do anything to get that, including wiping themselves out, because they do not care.
recent exchange?
Introducing the Spectra
Exchange.
So it's a great question because a lot of people and a lot of analysts also have been surprised. When we look at what happened over the last 3 weeks, we've now had this escalation. The breakdown of the ceasefire happened 3 weeks ago. It happened when Iran fired at 3 commercial vessels going through the Omani Pass in the Strait of Hormuz. The United States canceled the lifting of sanctions or reinstated the sanctions and started bombing. And then we had this escalation and it was really leading up to this last weekend. What happened all of a sudden on Sunday night, the guns went silent. The guns went silent. The United States, without saying anything, just did not attack that night. And as a result, Iran, without saying anything, did not attack Kuwait, Bahrain, Qatar, all the places they've been attacking, did not attack them either. No one knew what happened. Lots of speculation. There's a lot of reports that Trump was told that the United States does not have enough interceptors, and that's why that's been denied, but others have confirmed it. And no.
I doubt it. I'm sure we got plenty of interceptors. It could have been a number of things on why we just stopped firing, including Iran. Could be a number of reasons.
No one really knew what happened. And then Iran put out an interesting message on Sunday night. They put out an interesting message and they said, silence will be met with silence. That is essentially a code that's used in the Middle East. Israel's done this a lot with Hezbollah and Hamas that says, if you don't fire, we don't fire. We don't have an agreement. If you don't fire, we don't fire. And that's what happened Sunday. That's what happened Monday. And then all of a sudden, Iran fired again. All of a sudden, Iran carried out this 4 or 5, depends who you believe.
And guess what? I can guarantee you, the United States answered back and did it in a proportional way. By the way, guys, yes, we have that video coming up. Kick.com/BoondocksTwisted87 if you want to check it out.
ballistic missiles that were fired from Iran targeting this base in Jordan. Why did they do that? So firstly, we have to consider the timing. There's a reason I brought up what happened 3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, when Iran attacked those commercial vessels, it was in the middle of a meeting between Trump and NATO leaders. When they carried out this attack on Tuesday, it was several hours after the meeting between Netanyahu and Trump. This is symbolic for them. This is sending a message. This is saying, while you, Trump, can meet with the other leaders and think you're going to decide the fate of the war, we're going to decide the fate of the war. We're going to be the ones that decide when there's firing, when there's not. So that's one reason. A second reason is Iran is trying to come out on top at the end of this war. Through the memorandum of understanding, they're hoping to get.
Well, they can kiss that little dream and shove it right out the window. It's never happening. Iran will not come out on top on this little excursion. No, it will be the United States. Best believe it will be the United States. You see, Iran, you screwed up because you started this. We have no intention on letting you come out favorably in this.
A lot of control over the Strait of Hormuz, and they're trying to show that they can carry out attacks whenever they want.
You see, it's quite simple, all right? It's a quite simple simple system to get, all right? Iran, I know you're dumb and all, but surely you can get this, right? You lost the war you picked with the superpower. You see, what we are looking for is a conditional surrender, where you give in to all of our demands and you get nothing in return.
And they've been testing the waters. Since Sunday, their militias were firing.
You'll be able to start getting access to the money that we have frozen.
Drones from Iraq at Saudi Arabia, at Jordan, at Kuwait, and according to some reports at Israel also. And they were testing to see if the United States would retaliate. The United States did not. So this was just an escalation. It was pushing the.
And then you can use that money that we give back to you after unfreezing it to rebuild the country you destroyed by picking a fight.
Even further to test, can we occasionally fire at the United States? The United States will absorb it. Second reason. But the third reason, and this is the one that I think is often ignored, and you have heard me to say this when it comes to the Middle East and wars in general, probably 100 times over the last 3 years. When we want to understand how a country or entity operates, look to internal politics. Within Iran, there is a constant push and pull happening right now between two main factions. One of them is led by Ahmed Wahidi. He is the head of the
Ahmed Wahidi?
Revolutionary Guards, and the other is led by the president, Masoud Pezeshkian.
Where's Jeff Dunham when you need him? Where's Ahmed the terrorist?
Pezeshkian would like things to spiral down. He is an economist at heart. He's desperate to rebuild Iran's economy, wants it to spiral down.
Ahmed Hassan Mohammed Wahihi. I do, guys. That Nate. He's Turker Mohammed Jihad.
The Revolutionary Guards want things to escalate, and I would read this mostly as a push and pull within the internal politics of Iran. The Revolutionary Guards saying, you may.
All right, I better stop my shenanigans before my shenanigans get me banned.
They say silence will be met with silence, but when we want, we'll fire. That's how I read this more than anything else. It's part of the internal politics that happen within Iran that.
Get an email. Boondocks Twisted 87. We are sorry to inform you, but your channel has been taken down permanently due to this and this and this. We are sorry.
And projects obviously elsewhere. Then we'll see now where it goes. Iran carried out that attack. The United States responded by not by attacking Iran. The United States retaliated first by attacking the militias in Iraq. Pretty substantial attack. Now they've attacked Iran. Iran will probably retaliate against Kuwait. And now the sides will have to decide. Are they going to go back to talking, or are they going to just have.
Iraq, you don't want this smoke. You know what this smoke's about. You don't want this smoke. Just stop. Just stop, Iraq. Just stop being dumb. Stop being dumb. Iran's already getting it. Do you want the smoke?
Repeat of what we had the last 3 weeks, random bombings happening each night without any measurable results on either side.
So there's been a number of headlines that have come through, and I appreciate the insight on what may be going on the Iranian side. Hopefully time will tell and give us a little more clarity. But for now, we'll keep watching and we'll keep eyeing social media.
Yes, we'll keep watching. Yes. Well, I mean, what else are we gonna do? You know what I think we should do? Finish off the IRGC and the Ayatollah.
To see if there's any developments in real time relating to the strikes that the U.S. is carrying out tonight. Okay, let's go to this reporting. A lot of people have been asking about the Egypt situation. To catch anybody up who's not clued in, a drone hit a U.S.-owned gas storage tanker at Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta. This is according to a British security firm, and Reuters is reporting this. President Trump was asked about this today. He said that he was briefed on this situation, and then he warned that the U.S. would respond forcefully.
So this was literally yesterday. Yesterday this happened, guys.
If Iran continues to escalate tensions. Where is this port alone? Is this a significant event, this situation in Egypt's Mediterranean port of Damietta? I actually have an image here. There's a yellow peg that kind of shows where it is in relation to Israel and in relation to Iran. And if you can alone, give us some insight. How important does this...
That's actually not all that far from Iran. That is definitely a target they could reach. That's definitely a target they could reach. It is a bit red today. This is actually our last video, Dark.
Situation feel?
Harbor Freight, built for tool people.
Like me.
How important does this situation feel?
So I'll say that right now, no one has claimed responsibility for that attack. None of the militias in Iraq, not Iran, none of the militias that are backed by Iran in Syria, nor have the Houthis claimed responsibility. That's significant because it tells us that someone wanted to send a message, but didn't want to fall on escalation. If you send a drone, suicide drone, an attack drone, but don't actually claim responsibility, you're...
Huh. What's a suicide drone? What can that be? What? Does it come with the terrorist attached?
Saying, I don't want a retaliation now, I just want you to...
Let me guess, they come flying in screaming Allahu Akbar, right?
Remember that I'm here. But what's really the question is, who is trying to bring Egypt into the array, and who is trying to send that signal? Again, it's speculation.
Yeah, Dark, not here. This is YouTube. This isn't Kick, brother. Even I'm being tame.
No one's claimed responsibility, but honestly, my first instinct would have been, this would have been from the Houthis, because the Houthis want Egypt to be pressured. If we look at the map here, if you want to put it back to me, I'll try to zoom out on the Middle East a little bit and give some perspective. So here we have Iran, and here we have the Strait of Hormuz. And then over here, we have Yemen and the Bab el-Mandab Strait. This is where the Houthis...
I'm sure you was. I'm sure you was. But I've already made the goat joke tonight, so we really can't be pushing it.
Have a choke point. And this waterway that leads into the Red Sea, then all of the commerce that goes through here, unless it stops in Saudi Arabia...
Exactly.
Goes up and goes through the Suez Canal into the Mediterranean. The port that was attacked was up here. It was up here, right near the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal...
You know what I think? I think we should just take Karg Island. Iran wouldn't be a problem, trust me.
Is a major source of revenue for Egypt. Give or take 10 to 12% of the world's maritime commerce goes through there, each and every one of them.
To infinity and beyond.
Pay a tax to Egypt for using that strait. Because unlike the Strait of Hormuz, where there's an area that is international waters, this goes directly through solely Egyptian territorial waters. And therefore, everyone pays a toll. When the Houthis block the Bab el-Mandeb Strait, the ones that suffer are mostly Egypt. They are the ones that they're...
You know who he looks like? He looks like, who's that one guy I'm thinking of? He's bald like that. I forget his name now. Crap.
Economy comes under stress. They're the ones that, way back when, in 2024, when Biden launched the coalition against the Houthis to break the siege, it was Egypt that was pressuring Biden, saying, you gotta end this. You have to make sure the Houthis stop their chokehold. I would estimate.
Guys, we can't be pushing our luck, alright? This is YouTube. And I'm a male. I don't have nothing jiggly to put on the screen. They won't cut mercy on me like they do Bestie.
That the ones that have the most to gain from firing that drone at Egypt are the Houthis.
I mean, he's definitely intelligent, definitely knows what he's talking about, but man, and yeah, you're right. That hairline is a distraction.
As a way of saying, not only can we choke off the Red Sea, we can also very easily start bombing your territory also. Egypt has a very, very powerful position in the Arab League. It has a very, very good connection to a lot of European countries. And chances are, again, it's speculation on my part that it was the Houthis, but chances are whoever did this, whether it was the Houthis or anyone else, wanted Egypt to be stressed, wanted Egypt to be another voice.
His hairline, my hairline is just about as bad as his. Mine's a tiny bit better, but just about there.
That is screaming at Trump, saying just give Iran what it wants in order to end the situation. We can't have another 2 or 3 months of these.
Yeah, I actually need to get a haircut again. I normally keep my hair in a buzz cut because it just looks better that way. When I start growing hair is when it really shows on how bad it is. So I gotta get it cut again.
Escalations.
I gotta ask you about one more thing before we go here, Alone. This was another report. Reuters had this. They had this exclusively.
Alright guys, here we go. This is what we're all here for. Exclusive. Iran is expected to receive within weeks a first shipment out of up to 400 Chinese-made shoulder-fired air defense missile launchers as it rebuilds its defenses amid war with the United States. There you guys go. China is giving them whole legit 400 air defense missile launchers, alright? Now, this is a bad thing for China because guess what? China now gets their oil from the good old United States. You know what we could do to really put them in between a rock and a hard place? We could cut their oil. Do you think we're afraid to cut Asian man's oil off? You better guess again. Ask the Japanese.
Iran is expected to receive within weeks a first shipment out of up to 400 Chinese-made shoulder-fired air defense missile launchers as it rebuilds its defenses amid the war with the United States.
This is unacceptable on all levels. This cannot be tolerated.
Alone, does this make sense? President Trump was asked about this today, and he said that if this report is true, it would be surprising. Trump was asked about this today, and he said that if this report is true, it would be surprising.
They are not as good as our weapons, but free is free if we intercept. This is true. This is true. Again, if this is true, this is bad for China on so many levels because we can easily cut off their oil supply, amongst other things. You know what I'm saying? Let alone this shouldn't be tolerated, but only if it's true. As yet, it has yet to be 100% confirmed, but let's assume it is true because this is right up China's alley, right? It's a play behind the United States' back. It's 100% something they do.
I mean, it's hard to know. Iran has tried very hard to ally itself with anyone who is against US hegemony in the world. We've seen Iran join into an alliance with Russia already when Russia was fighting Ukraine. We then saw Ukraine carry an attack.
Yeah, and apparently President Zelensky had taken out some Iranian trucks going to Russia to grab weapons and stuff of that sort. So even Russia has been feeding Iran, which is quite interesting. And that's, well, let's assume that's true. That's a win on Zelensky's part. You know, that helps us out. But again, not good on Russia's part. They're already locked in a war. The last thing they need are us on Russia's butt. But of course, yet that's also risky because there's no escalation treaty with Russia. They can straight up go to nukes, and Putin said he would, and Putin's crazy enough that I believe him.
Against Iran, Iran was threatening to retaliate against Ukraine or European targets. China's in this game also. So far in the war, China has played a very neutral stance. They've been very critical, but mostly what their role has been to threaten the United States and say, you can play your siege on the Hormuz all you want. You're not stopping our ships. If you stop our ships, we have a problem. And the United States very quietly let all the Chinese ships pass through the siege the United States had imposed. Meanwhile, Iran has been working very hard to try to position itself almost as the forward command of the anti-US allies, so China and Russia, the forward command in the Middle East, essentially to rival like Cold War politics, to rival Israel and the moderate Arab countries that are allied with the United States. I will also say that when the war broke out, throughout the month of March and part of April, there were a lot of reports that Iran had found a way to bypass a lot of its exports through the sea because it was using an old train route that was going through the northern parts of Iran, through Turkmenistan and all kinds of areas of Uzbekistan. If we look up here, going through all of these, part of them going to India and part.
Yeah, again, we just need to finish these guys off. 100%. It's overdue that we deal with them. And they're only causing the Middle East to be unstable. They are a benefit to no one.
Them going up there to China. That is not nearly as efficient as using the maritime route. That doesn't mean that Iran.
And with Iran gone, we whole legit make China and Russia even weaker than what they already are, which is exactly what we need to do. Cuba's in collapse, Venezuela has flipped because we've taken Maduro, Iran is extremely weakened and on the verge of being taken out, Russia is extremely weak right now. That makes China weak, guys, because now they have to do deals outside of their little alliance that they had going that was anti-America.
Iran has not been taking advantage of it, but I would not be surprised. I don't know, obviously, if shore-mounted air defense missiles are being sent or not, but it would not surprise me at all if Iran was doing everything, including outbidding a lot of people, to solidify right now a stronger relationship with China, because if this ends tonight, or if this ends in a month, or if this ends in 6 months, Iran now wants to be their country in the Middle East that's funded by them, that they want to keep strong to keep the United States on their toes. They want to position themselves.
And that's why I think we should just go ahead and wipe out the IRGC and the Ayatollah. They are an issue and they are trying to continue to cause issues. Let's just wipe them out. It's time for a carpet bomb strategy to where we just whole legit bomb the entire country.
themselves in a stronger position, and they're doing everything they can to do that. And it's not going to surprise me if that report is true, or if at least some aspects of it are true.
Alone, always appreciate the analysis. How can people keep up with your content and your courses?
Yeah, guys, again, Iran has been an issue. Now they're teaming up, well, trying to team up with China. But this will come back to bite China in the butt, best believe it, because, well, they deal with the United States, and they get their oil from us, and we will cut that off. It's not something that we are afraid to cut off. We've cut off Asian people's oil before. Again, ask the Japanese how that went for them. Yes, guys, that will do it for us for the night. If you enjoyed the comment, give a subscribe, like the video, and drop a comment if you like, and hit the noti bell for more content. I will be live tomorrow on kick.com/boondockstwisted87. Guys, if you guys are not on Kick, get on Kick. Till then, this is Boondocks Twisted 87 signing off. You guys have a good night. Bye.